Good morning and welcome to the Hodgepack Sports Life and everything in between right here on 106.9 The Country Giant. We're brought to you by Lytle Lane and Cattle. We're in the Potosi Life Studio. Hodge, Misty, and Josh. Chilly February day, but I think it's going to be a lot better day weather-wise, all the things. Josh, Misty, how was Valentine's? Did you have a good one?
Yeah, it was lovely. See what I did there?
That was fun.
Yeah. It was very. It was
it punny?
It was, that was literally coming out of my mouth. That was funny.
We just played basketball all day. We had multiple games at the old AYSA, Dodge Jones, whatever they call that.
What a great facility
It is a really good
for
facility.
Abilene.
It's a great
Very nice.
facility.
So,
It is a good facility. I still think I had the best seat because it's the easiest place to see and watch a game is on the floor.
well, that is the one negative, I guess, about that facility. At times when you're sitting in the stands, it's harder to see. But as far as like the amount of games that can go on at one time, it depends. You got to sit in the right place because that handrail that goes across there, if you sit in the wrong place, it blocks your vision. So you have to either duck or like try to sit up real tall, But other than that,
I got to watch one of the games. Barrett was sitting. I got to watch Luke play a little bit, and then it did not feel great at all on Saturday. The rest of the night, in fact. Well, I went and watched ACU and Tarleton play. Great game. Tracy was off doing things with her mom and her mother, and so I went and watched that game. And
did you find you got paid to lose that one?
no, they actually won that one. They came back and won that one, so they weren't involved in that one. I think they washed that under the bridge and probably stayed away from that.
Let's hope so.
Then, but then I went. So
Like fluish or
no, never felt that, but I just did not feel good. Had a cough that woke up people, and then Sunday went and came back, and man, I just did not feel good till about Tuesday, which was good. So I had to go officiate. So I felt actually had dinner Monday night.
Being
Valentine's.
out that way, that's good.
Oh, it's pretty smart, and you didn't go anywhere where the menu is all fancy, and they change it up and they take away your favorites to.
I always think about
Yeah.
you when they have the special menus.
Well,
I'm
special, and I don't go.
I see people's menu at restaurants have those things, and I think, man, Hodge paid this.
It's like what filet mignon.
All right, for the record, that's adult Robert Lee. I know what that is, and it's very good, rapid and bacon.
It is good.
But so that was our Valentine's. On another note, we did go see a motion picture,
What did you see?
and I think we can say that, right? I know we're not. I mean, we're very professional in the world of radio. We've been doing it. Both of you guys, 6 years, 7. So.
Frightened me.
Sorry.
Yeah, whatever the new one is.
It is smart. Good job.
Oh, there you go. So, but we went and saw. So what I'm saying this, like I think I could say the movie. We're giving them. I guess we are, but it's different.
We can review. Yeah, we can
So,
review.
all right, so we're
film.
reviewed. Send help.
Send Help is the show.
Yes.
Is
so,
it scary?
all right.
I saw the preview.
Okay.
It piqued my interest.
All right. So,
but not enough to actually go to a.
well, so we enjoy suspenseful movies.
Same.
Fans of, oh no, you didn't do it, or you did do
The
it.
jaw drop.
Yeah. Needless to say, go ahead and get that when it comes home. Is what I'm saying. What I'm telling you there.
Hot Friends.
Oh yeah.
We're going to.
What is that about?
Apparently, it's a book. I never read it, but it's a.
Do you have a test next week?
Yeah, maybe.
Chances are, if it's a book,
See, the way my friends roll is a lot of people. We have movie club, so we just skip the and go straight
do
to
you
the
still
film.
drink wine and gab of other things?
Well, we are gonna
'Cause I
have a
thought
little.
they did at book club.
Yeah, we are gonna have a little dinner.
And occasionally
before.
read.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna watch that. But I guess Margot Robbie's in it.
What are we
love
heightened?
her.
What are we heightened?
Who?
Margot Robbie. She
Margot
was
Robbie.
Barbie.
Barbie.
Beautiful blonde. What? Y'all don't know who
the
Margot
girl on
Robbie
Wolf
is?
of Wall Street.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, beautiful blonde. I think she's beautiful.
There
but,
you go.
Yeah,
We'll have
Margot
to
Robbie.
check her out. Well, we'll not check her out in that way, but look her up.
Or
Or will we?
or both. All of the above. which again, we'll dive into our Lawrence Hall headline report. We got a lot going on today. Misty here for the first hour, and then we've got a lot of guests in the next hour. We're going to award our football pick'em winner, MG Dean. We're not a political show, but I do have a question. I don't need him to like tell us anything because we don't need every candidate to show up. We would be here.
Yeah.
But I am curious, like all these people are running for these different precincts of the Republican Party. Like I did not know those existed. I knew county commissioners existed. I knew apparently there was somebody head of the Taylor County Republican Party, and I'm assuming there's a one for the Democratic Party and the other that just liked the party. But
Me.
that was pretty good.
I'm in that party.
Elected to that?
For the record, that was a pretty good one.
Joshua
that was
wants to be the president.
Yeah, that was about as punny as your lovely punny. But I don't get that. But MGD did win our pick'em for the season and the college deal, and so some dollar prizes, and he's going to walk away with the heavy championship belt. So maybe he'll be a winner in all things that he's doing over the next week and a half. But there's like other people doing this.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he's in, and then in the other part of the second hour, Rotan Yellow Lady Hammers. The Lady Yellow Hammers. 3 of their basketball players and their coach, Coach Garrett Watson, are going to be here to talk about their basketball season. Big win last Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday they played beat Monday, which is confusing on Tuesday. Yep.
It's got to be your bowl.
Yeah. Anyway, they got a tough game tonight. They play Hermleigh. They play Hermleigh tonight, but got a gold ball, so we're going to talk to them. And of course, it's perfectly fit because they're right in the heart of Big Country Electric co-op territory. So we'll have them in Misty's bag and all the things. So, but you mentioned it, Misty, and we'll talk more about these. Our Black Plumbing social media question of the week was Robert Duvall passing away, 95 years old, actor or television movie, if you will, has been a lot of the folks' favorites. So we'll look at those a little bit later. But let's dive into our Lawrence Hall headline report. Starting off with golf, last week, Colin Morikawa wins the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am for the first time in a number of years of winning on U.S. soil. So Colin wins there. Riviera, most people may not think that's a big deal. The Genesis Invitational. Tiger is the host. It's back at Riviera. If y'all remember last year at this time, the Palisade was on fire, and so they are back at Riviera. Aaron Rai is at 6 under. Jacob Bridgman, I don't know, last week I wasn't feeling well, so I was watching it. This poor Jacob Bridgman guy cost him $190,000-ish because he hit the ball over by the ocean and was having to try to hit it back off the beach. It did not go well. He's at 5 under right now. Rory's at 5 under. And Scotty Scheffler is giving everybody a favor. He is +5. This day he's taking off is today. He tried to take off a day. It seems like he's taking a day off each tournament just to give everybody a chance. And I appreciate him being that good. That's happening. Josh, want to mention MLB, Tony Clark stepping down as a player rep, Bruce Meyer being the next guy in. People thought it might be because he was fearful of the government shutdown. The baseball shut down, but maybe there's some
lurid detail.
Sounds like he and Coach Moore from Michigan had some similarities.
Yes.
Who is Bruce Meyer?
Well, from what I understand, he's the guy that's kind of been the actual, like with Tony Clark being more of the person, so, and I think you get that a lot of organizations, the head guy is not really the guy that's doing the day-to-day, so I don't see it as much of a change really, what's going to come with not having baseball in 2027.
Yeah, Bruce just picked up, not only picking up the mess of Tony Clark, but now having to pick up the mess of what could be an end of baseball in a season or a stoppage in the game at the end of this year. So a lot going on there.
If they have replacements like football did that one time, can we try out?
I think it'd be worth it. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know what I could do. I wouldn't even want to be the bullpen catcher because it would hurt every time that 100-mile-an-hour ball came by.
But no one's throwing 100 if they're replacements. They're guys, you know.
Oh, they don't know if you don't remember. Ricky Vaughn
Well, I guess
came right out of the old penal league. And,
yeah, I mean, I guess so.
yeah, it could happen.
That is a true story.
Yeah, it is true. Based on real life events, at least there were uniforms that looked like they were real. A couple other things. Heartbreaking news for the folks of Texas Tech. JT Toppin out after big weeks of beating Arizona and then losing to Arizona State, but they lost more than the game. I know Evan Harris is a big go back and listen to the podcast, but you should too as well. Download, subscribe, rate, review. JT out for the year and probably takes a big old hit to the chances of Tech making a big run in the March Madness, which again, folks, we're about a week and a half away from that happening. So be on the lookout for that bracket. Josh will get that ready for you. And then the other thing that was big yesterday, and we'll talk more about the Olympics. I'm really hoping to get the take on y'all the next chain after Evan Harris.
Yeah,
had a
didn't make any sense.
but which means it's a perfect Hodge moment.
Yes. I was like, huh?
Which means it makes the cut.
Yes. Yeah. So the Olympic women's hockey team yesterday, USA beat Canada 2-0, 2-1. Couldn't be 0 if we made it to overtime. 2-1 OT over Canada with Megan Keller's big overtime goal. Big victory yesterday. And I threw out there, basically, well, Olympic gold is great. Silver may be the worst medal to get ever. Bronze may be better. And the hockey goalie and the field goal kicker are the same.
All right.
To come back on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this for a sec.
Well, it's going to give you a moment to try it. Y'all didn't get that on the rundown, did you? Did you get that part of the new rundown?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
And
Although
then-
the date on the top says 2/13. I thought I had the wrong one.
No, sometimes I can't get everything changed.
Okay.
Right? I was in a pitch yesterday. It was Thursday. I was busy Wednesday. All the things.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah.
You know, we give Hodge a lot of crap, I will say, but I was actually thinking about this week, like Hodge does such a great job, like guests lined up week after week, and so we do give him a lot of crap, but you really do a great job.
Well,
and we appreciate you, but we also will not stop giving you crap.
No, I totally deserve that. I think it's the gift that keeps on
I don't
giving.
know why she's trying to butter you up. Leaving early and
Yeah, she's like, I've got an hour of this. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. But anyway, that is our Lone Star headline report. Again, congratulations to the women's hockey team. Big win. And when we come back, I will explain myself. The show we will talk about. It's been a rough couple of weeks. One child watched. He wasn't a childhood actor. We were watching this kid, and then a couple other from a big team. So probably one of the most versatile actors of time passing away this past week. Again, Lawrence Hall, AbileneOnline.com. Check them out. Get your car. Get what you need, and get that car in your driveway. When we come back, I'm going to try to explain some Hodgeonics. Hello, folks. Looking forward to having some O10 yellow hammers that are orange.
And I was like yellow lady hammers. Like, what?
O10 and lady yellow hammers. Yeah.
You said lady hammers.
Yeah.
They are so good. They are. They will hammer you.
Yellow lady hammers.
Yellow lady hammers.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
I'm confused.
What is a yellow hammer?
It's a bird.
Okay, it's a bird.
In my understanding, it's a woodpecker.
Okay, I thought it was in the old toolkit. Not gonna lie.
Well,
You thought it was a what?
Like in the toolkit, like tool bag.
tool bag. Why are you calling Hodge that?
You're a tool. I thought it was a tool. Yeah, like I legit thought, because the handles of hammers are like a yellow color,
So
so I really thought it was a yellow hammer.
Can you imagine showing up and you're going to speak to them?
I've got a yellow hammer.
I really thought
But
Can
it's
you
orange.
imagine going to speak to them as like a junior achievement or something and thinking that that's what they are now?
we're gonna do this thing, and they're like, wow, yeah, I really thought that, huh? Because there are some really weird, crazy mascots.
Yeah.
I mean, lady steers, like it's a heifer, people.
Lady steers are the worst.
I know, it honestly is.
Well,
I'd
at
rather
least
be the unicorns.
Graham finally figured that out, and I don't know how long, but they're just the lady blue.
Yes, yeah, but
Lady orange may be weird for the Robert Lee.
but still, like, please change it, like, yeah, because it's just a heifer. So.
You would never call yourself heifers. I mean, maybe.
Dirty heifer is something sometimes I say if I miss like
Heifer is such a weird word.
it is
Dirty.
Heifer, like, I don't know. I mean,
there is some like there are some funny words like if you ever remember when I think they puncture something in that nitrous oxide gas.
Yes, and then they're all like
limit
ROAD.
That's a
ROAD.
funny word.
ROADs.
How fast are you guys going?
yeah.
This thing's got 540 horsepower. It was like 60, 70 miles an hour. 7 miles an hour.
The best is when it's like Lowe's and they're like, do you want to go to Lowey's? And you're like, wait, what? Or like, and they're serious. And you're like, Lowe's? Like, Lowey's.
I think I like Lowy better.
Tracy, Todd.
Let's start calling it Lowey's.
Todd, Tracy's brother, I don't know how young he was, either around the boy's age, maybe a little older. And I've got to make sure I say it. There used to be a store called, and he just called it Lining. Let's go to Lining and things. So I think, I mean, it doesn't matter here. I just think naked's a funny word.
Naked?
Naked.
And some people say it naked.
Naked.
Right.
Naked.
Yeah.
Naked feels like you're doing something to the neck.
Right.
And then necking, that is a term where you're doing a couple of things.
Yeah. That's where people say, I swear it's a curling iron.
Why is it called necking?
Curling iron.
Is necking when you leave a hickey?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just didn't know.
Not a professional in what that actually.
That is the grossest thing ever.
Yeah, it's never made sense.
Hickey is a gross word.
Yeah, hickey is a gross
Like,
word.
that just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, ugh, I can't.
That, I don't know, that reminds me of something that was unfortunate that happened to someone in the 5th grade. I can't remember which.
So,
This was before, now they've got the cupping things where they put on, they suction cup and they make those little things. Well, this guy had a racket.
all right, we're back.
No.
Hold that thought.
No, it's not worth holding.
Welcome back to the Hodgepodge Sports Life and everything in between. You really may want to go back and watch Facebook Live. We talked about punctuation and enunciations and everything in between. We're glad you're with us again. One of the big headlines yesterday was the women winning the Olympic gold in hockey, a big 2-1 overtime win over Canada, which beating Canada is kind of like if you were to beat Europe in golf. Golf started in Europe, big deal. When you think of hockey, most of us think of Canada. So big win for the women yesterday. And so yesterday I had an experience. I had an opportunity. We have an electric vehicle, and but co-op and took it and had to charge it to come back home to do so. And I went and got my hair cut. And I went to an establishment that had TV. Was watching the hockey game. And in the hockey game, got to watch the game-winning goal right there as Nieva, the lady cutting my hair. And the goal, they win, and everybody goes crazy. And you just saw the folding of the goalie for Canada. I'll look for it. the jubilation, which they should have. And it got me to thinking, and I had to pull my phone out and said, hey, sorry, yeah, but I need to, if something comes to my mind to be on the show, and maybe it's with you with your bag, that into my phone and put it somewhere to put it in the rundown. It's not. And so I did that. What came to my mind was, because I was there long enough to see the medal presentation, and I don't know if you've got the point of if you can figure out, Josh, and where you're at on your phone, of who won the medal, the bronze for women's hockey. But I was watching, and the jubilation of the Americans was high. And the low, non-opposite of jubilation, the devastation look of the Canadians was so matching that of low that it got me to thinking, is the silver medal, at least at the moment, one of the worst feelings of accomplishment, but great accomplishment there is, and that the bronze medal win accomplishment is great at the moment?
Actually, I feel, yes, I will take that take with you, because I think when you're just trying to make a podium, and so for the bronze, you're like, okay, we medaled, we made it here, but then second, yeah, you're just the first loser. So actually totally agree. I think third is happy to be there because they maybe barely made it onto the podium. Second is, yeah, devastated. And so I'm going to agree with Josh.
I mean, yes and no. At the moment, you're devastated. So at that exact moment, it's like, especially in a close game or match or whatever. Yes, there's an extreme one. There's all the things that we would have just done this a little better or that a little. We would have won this game and we would have won the gold medal, and we're this close and we didn't get it, whether that's a championship or gold medal or whatever it is. But still, after the initial stage, I'd rather have played in the championship game than lost in the semifinal.
I agree with that. I mean,
sure, of course.
But it's like, when you start looking at it, because if you talk to, or not talk to, or maybe we'll get a chance, one of the guys I've always wanted to, have guys that have been in Super Bowls like Jeff Saturday that won one and then lost the other, when they lost to the Saints. They remember the one they lost more than the one that they won. And in the same deal, it takes you have to go back and try to figure out, who did somebody beat in a Super Bowl more than who's won it. Now, it's easy for Dan Marino because we all remember that he went to one and lost one. But when you start looking at that, winning and getting to a Super Bowl is a huge accomplishment. But it's nothing like, obviously, winning it. I mean, you get an AFC or NFC championship ring that's not as big, but still decent size. But when you start thinking about that moment, like, and Misty said it, when you win that bronze medal, man, you're an Olympic medalist for the rest of your life. And even though you're an Olympic medalist for the rest of your life as a silver medalist, it's still always wondering what the difference would have been from speaking engagements, my speaking fee, my endorsement ability, if I'm a gold medalist as a silver medalist, and how long do we finally, in the words of whatever his name is from Frozen, to let it go, to accept that what you just did is an enormous accomplishment. It's very similar when you get to AT&T and you lose at the state championship. What you accomplished was amazing. So many other teams would trade for that opportunity to lose, but it still stings because you, A, didn't win, don't know if you'll ever get a chance to do it again, and just how hard it hurts. That's why that bee sting hurts.
Yes, it does, but still, you talk about the state football championships. Like, I would, much rather in the future, if you're on the road, talking about just how like at Jerry World, whatever year and go our way. But I played in a state championship game. But I mean, that's much better than like, well, we went to the semifinals and lost. Like so I disagree with your whole premise. Everybody wants to win the championship, obviously. I do think that, like, still, if you're the bronze medalist, like, you still lost in a semi, and you had that heartbreak then, and then you sit and if you even have the desire or ability to watch the championship game, you're thinking like, oh man, we could have beat that team.
I think bronze is happier than silver.
Y'all are.
Yeah, I think in that moment, bronze is happier than silver.
In that moment.
In that moment,
do you agree with that?
Bronze
In the moment.
is just happy to make the podium.
Bronze won their last game.
Yeah, bronze
So
is just happy to be there.
Like, it was Switzerland that bronze. Like.
Is that who? Did you?
I looked
Okay.
it up. It's actually a while to find it.
Well, yeah, because it said at first it wasn't identified. That's what it was saying. They were figuring it out.
But
yeah,
how
do you not know who won the
tiebreaker
bronze?
is paper, rock, scissors.
Yes.
Should be.
Or is it rock, paper, scissors?
That will be Olympic sport in 28.
Yeah, so y'all are way off.
Just in the moment.
Y'all are at that. Oh yes, at that exact moment. But anytime that you're playing in a win or go home situation, if you lose that game, there's all sorts of like, and I don't care if it's the local church league softball or high school pro whatever. After the game, when you lose in a win or go home, you say, man, if I would have done this, our team would have been in a better place, or if like we could have won that game. So like there's all sorts of like. Right. So losing not fun. I mean, obviously you wouldn't play sports.
Right, and I know that.
But still, it's like, are you saying whatever team like didn't they went to the Olympics and they got just pounded 2 straight games and they were done? Like you'd rather be them?
Yeah, no, I get your point. I get your point.
You didn't say, well, I'm an Olympic athlete. Yep, you are. And you played 2 hockey games and lost by a combined 7 points. Like, I mean, I don't know. I disagree with your premise.
Right, well, I appreciate that, and that's why it's great to talk about. Now, the other thing that I put is the hockey goalie and the field goal kicker go maybe two of the most similar positions in sports that could literally, hey, I've had a day. Let's go to Potosi Live, Mulligan's, or Lytle, and we need to talk and kind of get through this.
Yeah, you're the zero or the hero.
Right, and so like, and I can't even look her up, but like Hillary Knight was the hero goalie for USA yesterday, and then Megan Keller, game-winning goal, this little little boom, boom, move, boom, scores, and that poor girl tried everything she could, but it wasn't enough. And a kicker tries everything they can, but doesn't make it. And those kindred spirits are like this, like they're the closest thing I could think of that could relate to one another in that it is on you. And nobody remembers that you should have scored a touchdown earlier. You didn't make it. All comes down to that, and that's how the game. And I just felt for that girl because, again, sitting there watching it get my hair cut, and it's like that. She just felt like she let the whole country down, not just her team. When you let your whole country down in that moment, realizing there were other people, other opportunities that you could have beaten the USA. In fact, Canada was up 1-0 for a while, and then USA tied it up and then went to overtime. I don't know, but
I think that's what I was talking about when you lose any like important game, like you win this game, or whatever the case may be, a close game, and you have any sort of real image, because I think like if it's a close game, you could think in the first quarter or the second inning, if I would have done this versus that, or if I would have got that done, we would have won that game. Like because everybody that had any significant playing time in a game that's close could have done one thing different.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a team sport in that moment
Yes.
when you're the one that it falls on.
But
100%.
but the field goal kicker, when the field goal kicker misses a 37-yarder at the end of the game and your team loses by 2, it like that guy gets death threats and has to not go back to campus.
Right.
Like, but there were 100 other plays that could have gone a little different and they wouldn't have been down by 2. So it's like you could go like that's just the nature of it.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's why it's the blessing and that's why we love sports, because it all encompasses all that. So congratulations, USA women, bringing home the gold, and congratulations to Switzerland. You're no longer neutral. You're the bronze. We'll be back right after this.
What's funny is people do use Switzerland to say they're neutral. Sorry, like as you said that, I was like, wait a minute, but they are always usually saying, "I'm Switzerland in this.
I'm out.
I'm neutral." That's almost as good as a hammer.
I got jokes today.
A yellow-handled hammer. Oh, it's so funny. Are we going Duvall after this? I'm gonna get some heat on this next segment here, but I'm gonna probably take a little bit of heat.
Lisa, please tell me you.
So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, you're not gonna like this, Tracy.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course not. Get the Christmas out of here. Need to bag it up. Okay, you check this, huh? I gotta shut this because I can hear it just enough to distract me. Does that distract you sometimes, like when you can hear the playback?
Yeah.
So that's why I always have to shut it.
The echo.
Yes, I'm
Because
like,
I hear myself,
and
and
then
then
I-
I think, man, I sound like a tart.
and then I see y'all going, "Meh, meh," like I don't know what you're saying because.
That's generally how I'm.
I never listen to you.
I'm out on this conversation. I'll be back later.
What'd you say?
That's funny. What is this movie from? What's the sound from? What movie?
Well, Chris, do the same.
Yes!
All right.
Good job!
I was
Do you
seeing it,
know
like
it?
he's driving in
Yeah.
the car. I can't like.
Do you know that? Looking at me like I'm crazy. True. Yeah, name that sound. Oops, I hope I didn't jack that up.
Come back and shoot. Hey. Back and shoot. But he ain't good. Jake probably come back and shoot. Other righty, Jake probably.
All right, say your little voice again. Hang on, not yet. Sorry.
I'm joking.
All right, say it again. No clue. It's off of a movie.
Yes, a very like our time movie. Like I think everybody. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I get it. He did not know the
What's that part of?
when he's in the car.
Yeah, he's driving. Like,
He's just a cool guy. It's the cool guy
Yeah.
sound.
yeah, you should know the cool guy sound.
Yeah. But I just can't believe poor McSteamy. Eric Dane, he really had a battle.
Nick Steamy.
Yeah, it's so sad.
One of the most famous lines, one of the most famous movies. Well, it really wasn't a movie. It was more of a TV series that lasted
A miniseries.
a miniseries that lasted a long. It was a long miniseries. Lonesome Dove, Gus McCrae, Noah Woodrow on Lonesome Dove, Tommy Lee Jones. The late great, now passed at 95, Robert Duvall was in a ton of movies. And
He was.
Lonesome Dove probably, and I hate to admit this, I watched Lonesome Dove for the first time in its entirety probably only about 3 years ago.
Huh.
And so we
I
threw
remember
out.
watching it like as a child. The Simpsons gave me like extreme. It was almost Jaws level.
I have never seen it. So I have never seen, I'm going to take a little heat, but there is only one movie of his that I have seen all the way through.
Kicking and Screaming.
And it is not listed on anywhere. I'm looking
You're
at
serious?
dead serious. I've seen bits and pieces of some of these films, but never all the way through. There is one I have seen, and no one has put this movie down. And maybe they forgot that he was in this movie.
Maybe they forgot.
But that, folks, is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah.
That is the
Boo
only
Radley.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall movie. He played Boo Radley that I have ever seen all the way through.
Right. Because you had to watch it at school.
Great movie.
With Will Ferrell,
Nope.
Four Christmases.
Nope.
You've not seen Four Christmases?
Nope. Literally, I don't know. I guess I've been living under a rock.
I mean,
but
no, like Six Rocks, like maybe four, because Four Christmases is hilarious. You and
yeah,
Clay?
no, I need to watch it.
Yes.
No, this guy, when I was looking up these movies, I was like, I mean, I've heard of them. I've seen bits and pieces, obviously, of a lot of these, but I have never seen it all the way through. Clay told me I needed to watch Secondhand Lions. And
Yes,
so I watched the
was-
trailer, and it
Secondhand Lions is
it
good.
was like two guys shooting up people when they come on the land and a little boy. I didn't watch it, but I watched the trailer. But yeah, just again, I know I'm going to take some heat for this, but To Kill a Mockingbird's all I got here.
All right, Lonesome Dove I get because it took me a while to see it.
What is Kicking and Screaming?
It's the soccer movie with Will Ferrell where they coach he takes on and he's coaching his kids' team, and he has to for what other people would call football,
Okay.
soccer, and he coaches against his dad, which is Robert Duvall,
Okay.
who has a son with I think he has a son with a younger lady, and they coach against each other.
I have to watch that one. That one.
Yeah,
sounds,
I think you would
sounds pretty
appreciate
good.
that. So a lot of people that we put on Facebook, what's your favorite Robert Duvall movie? The Godfather 1 and 2, Secondhand Lions, Lonesome Dove by Erica Pangburn, Lonesome Dove. One that I've not seen that I did not know, I found out that he was in, but I've never seen is Days of Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, my wife said that she can't think of Robert Duvall without just thinking of Gus. You know,
Right.
So that's, and I agree with that. I mean, it's a very iconic role. Apocalypse Now, which is a movie that I like, but my two Robert Duvall roles are one is in my favorite baseball movie, The Natural. He was the reporter Max Mercy.
Yeah.
See, nobody put that
And
either.
he was the kind of like, he was really pivotal to the whole thing because it all came back to him because he was the guy that discovered him when he was like doing stumping for the Whammer at the beginning of the movie, then like followed him, covered him all the way through. So that was and that was in my opinion an iconic movie. They still play the soundtrack to that when someone hits a home run for the Texas Rangers. And the other is a little off, but it was a movie that I really liked when I was a kid, and I don't think it's one that most people just associate Robert Duvall in because it was a John Wayne movie, and he played Lucky Ned Pepper in the movie True Grit, which led my favorite lines in a movie, and part of it you can't say on the radio, but he's Lucky Ned Pepper and John Wayne face off with Rooster Cogburn in their climactic battle scene, and he says, as they're jawing at each other, he says, "Pretty bold top for a one-eyed fat man," which the John Wayne responds back, "Fill your hands, you son of a," and then they start shooting at each other. So
there you go.
Yeah, a good one that a lot of people have put. My husband being one of them is Open Range.
Also, Open Range also
good. Never heard of that one.
Yeah, Open Range. Jeff Bettis says his role as Gus in Lonesome Dove, I think, is not only his greatest role, but probably one of the greatest roles ever anyone has played.
It was just absolutely believable.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and another movie that highly recommend if you like golf, 7 Days in Utopia was a really good movie. But the list of movies just unbelievable. And my favorite moment or memory of Robert Duvall was actually being at Preeney's one night, and Robert Duvall and his wife come walking in with Tom and Lisa, and we were sitting here. We were there for Todd's graduation from Hardin Simmons, and they were sitting over there in that one of those, the back bottom or whatever, and he was in there, and obviously or anything, but legendary actor, 95 years old. You have a lot of homework to do to watch just a couple.
Yeah, I will try to get a couple in for sure.
If nothing else, just watch Kicking and Screaming. Four Christmases is hilarious. You are missing out on a Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon.
That one, yeah.
He's like a preacher. It's
okay. I've never watched that. It's gonna be Christmas in April for me.
Yeah. Anyway, Robert Duvall, great actor, great impact, 95 years of making amazing movies and roles, and kind of like music, those movies are going to live on for a long time and be shown to kids for generations to come. Real quick before we go to break, so we want to come back and do Misty's Bag. We didn't mention it last week, but Creed, James Van Der Beek passing away after a battle, I believe, of colon cancer.
Yeah, sad, 48 years old, I believe.
But and of course, Facebook and the internet always comes up with creativity, especially with AI. But they showed, you've had Paul Walker, Billy Bob, and now Mox, away young guys.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned another one
also
yesterday.
Eric Dane. He was McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy. People would probably know him more recent in that role, but he had ALS, was battling that. I believe he was 53. And so just a sad deal. And, they say that it comes in threes, Eric being the third. So maybe things will chill out for a little bit. But yeah, just really sad. And it's just a bad deal.
Bad deal. Well, again, great actors, great impacts on culture, the world, and everything in between. When we come back, Misty's back.
There's a lot of good movies that he was in that I kind of like forgotten about. Even Falling Down, so that was a really good movie.
I've never seen any of the Godfathers.
I've seen parts.
He was in Gods and Generals, which was a good movie. It's a Civil War movie. Gone in 60 Seconds.
I didn't know that until somebody posted
I
that.
didn't know he was in that one. I feel like I have seen that one. It's been a while.
A lot of his movies, they are westerns and
that's just really not my
war
gig.
movies. Yeah,
I do like war movies.
Apocalypse Now is a very
I really do.
What?
Apocalypse Now, Vietnam movie.
I think we had to watch that in school, or we did watch it.
I'm gonna go pee.
Did y'all sponsor anything at the farm ranch thingy? You going to that lunch?
You know, I was in charge of getting a table filled, and I think I overcommitted to others. I don't think I said myself.
I'm going and present that award again.
I might be there. I might not.
Get low.
Get low.
Number 16 on Rotten Tomatoes is where The Natural falls.
Of his movies? Yeah.
The world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune into what matters most.
Well, you know, and really not long ago, Robert Redford passed away. I don't know if it was in this year or at the end of last.
I was at Trinity's once when Robert Duvall was there.
Apparently, Tender Mercy, somebody posted on there that
I've never seen that, but I've seen several things that just like one of his best movies.
Bucket of balls. Kelly J does it better. A great podcast.
welcome back to the Hodgeback. We're glad that you're with us again. Condolences to some great legends, and the biggest one of all, Robert Duvall, passing away at the age of 95. And now, opportunity to open up Misty's bag.
One of the really cool things about Mulligan's is that they host benefits for people that are in a not ideal situation. And this is a little ways off, but I want to go ahead and start plugging it now. But they're going to have a benefit for Keaton Davis Robinson. And that's going to be March 28th. And so go to their Facebook page, Mulligan Sports Bar, Grill and Golf, and you volleyball tournament, 3-on-3, cornhole tournament, golf tournament, all the things. They're going to have an auction, baked good, and you can be a whole sponsor. You can do all kinds of things to help this family. Mason and the Mercenaries are going to start at 6 p.m. And so it's just going to be a really great day for a very special person coach at Wiley. And so get on out and support that. And if you can donate, if you're a business owner, you can donate something to that. That would be amazing. So the question of the week is, which villain, any sport, past, present, whatever y'all are, person, would make the best transition to coaching? Any villain, any sport
A villain.
that you think would have the best transition to becoming a coach?
That's a very interesting question.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to rattle off who I think are villains in sports, either currently, past, or in between. When I think of villain, unfortunately, and right, wrong, or different, I think of Greg Norman with the Live, Patrick Reed, in that realm. When I think of villain, I'm going to tell you, it came on the other day. I don't know why, but I do know why. We're in the middle of transition from sports, but The Last Dance was on, and got caught watching it again.
I love it. So
And Scottie Pippen was more clean cut than when Misty and I saw him about 3 or 4 years ago. But what about Rodman? Do you think Rodman would be just like a cool, laid back, hey man, let's coach it up? I'll tell you what he could coach.
he definitely is a
He
villain.
was a villain, and I'm going to tell you what he could do. That boy could rebound.
Oh yeah.
And he said he'd go to the gym and just have guys start shooting. And he would learn, okay, if the ball's coming from there, it's going to hit the rim normally here, and this is where it's going to go. And he wasn't the tallest guy on the court, but he could rebound like a son of a gun. And so I'm going to start off and let you go, but I'm going to go, what if Rodman would be a good coach? He could coach you on a lot of things.
He's definitely not scared to say anything.
No.
He
No,
wouldn't be
he could
afraid
coach
to
you
stand
on-
up.
He could coach you on hair color, like on how to make your hair a different color.
Isn't he the one that was dating like Carmen Electra at one point?
And Madonna.
Like, how did he land these people?
Oh, he was Dennis Rodman.
Josh Hill?
Well, I was kind of a different direction on the answer, because I was thinking of like Bond villains, and then that made me think of Dr. Evil, and I would like to see Dr. Evil coach a football game.
This is taking a turn, and I love it.
Don't act like you're ashamed.
Right, because obviously that character in Austin Powers was he was quite mentally deficient
Mm-hmm.
and said funny things.
Yes.
So I want him to coach a football team.
So you were gonna come up like some baseball. You just
So you're saying Dr. Evil coaching some
I
stuff?
started thinking of Bond villains, and then when I had a Bond villain, pong balled around in my brain.
Could you imagine him and Mini-Me coaching on the side?
Yes.
Oh, that would actually be really good.
Yeah.
Ironically, Mini-Me teaching how to block out.
Yeah.
That would be very entertaining. Actually, I kind of like that.
Corey Jenkins, who I love and is such a loyal listener. I know you got to leave. We need to think about, we need a, like the P1s for the ticket. We need
Oh yeah.
part of the pack, and he would totally be.
Corey is definitely part of that.
He said, I believe he caught those women also on the rebound. Yeah.
I love it.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
And so I like Dr. Evil. I think Dennis Rodman could definitely be a pretty good one. Do you have one for you?
So I went to the old Google and I was like, I wonder what Google's going to say. Like if I put this in there. So Google actually says this question, sports villains as coaches, is Draymond Green.
Okay, currently I could see that
And it
because
says, here's why. It says the impact as a coach, he's got a high IQ. He sees plays 3 steps before they happen. He can deal with conflict. He's not afraid to challenge the stars. He's already done it to Curry and Durant. defensive mindset. He understands the grind required to win championships. And so it says that the winner is Draymond Green. Kevin Garnett would be the most fascinating. And Bill Belichick has the best resume.
Well, I mean, Belichick is a villain and a coach, you know, so that
But
fits.
I feel like we can't choose him because he's already a coach.
Would Tom Brady count as a villain because of stuff like that?
I think categorize Brady that way, yeah, and just because of all the be a good coach.
I mean, he did him as a villain because they weren't fans of him winning more than anything.
Right.
Is Travis Kelce considered a villain?
I
don't know.
I wouldn't say.
I will say this,
villain.
not to, well, it's the same, but because some people think she's part of the NFL, Taylor Swift.
They think she's more of the villain than
Yes.
Kelce.
So I was driving to Lubbock Wednesday, and I went to regular radio, which is great. Public radio is always great, and was listening to a local station there, and I was scanning through to try and find something. I was trying to find either ESPN or their sports radio there in Lubbock, and I found this talk show, like people calling in. Travis and Taylor, because they both have plenty, but Travis is in the same boat Tom was. Mrs. Kelce, or in his case, he may just be Mr. Swift. It makes a lot more money than he does in football,
Right.
just like Giselle made a lot more money than Tom did in football.
Which is crazy to me that she made more money than Tom Brady. Like, no shade to her. Beautiful model, like, you go, girl. I don't know. When I think about Tom Brady and what all he's done, and then I'm like, wow, there's supermodels out there that make that kind of money. I don't know. It's just insane to me.
Like if you
I
took,
felt that there's someone that I would not have known who she was had she not been
Exactly.
Tom Brady's wife. That much money.
Yeah,
if we were in like sports care manager from Major League, could be a pretty good one. Obviously, Bugs Bunny did a good job in Space Jam. Yosemite Sam would be awkward as well. But when you start thinking of villains coaching, like anybody, which ironically, Bill Laimbeer went on to be a very successful coach in the WNBA. And you watch, again, you go back and watch Last Dance, and when the bad boys were the bad boys, it was like hockey. Was there going to be a fight? And Rick Mahorn and John Sally and Rodman and Bill Laimbeer. Ron Artest would be one.
I wouldn't want to play for him.
See, I just like I was trying to think of, you know, like why are some of these people called villains? Because it really depends on like if you're a fan, then you wouldn't consider them villains. I mean, if you were like,
you consider them the difference makers.
Yeah, like so I have a hard time calling people a sports villain.
And I would think even like,
Well,
even like
even
Draymond,
MJ,
but
a
even
lot
like,
of people
but
would
even like
say-
Draymond Green, probably I agree with leader in the clubhouse on that. But if he's on your team, you love the guy.
Mhm.
If he's
Yeah.
not on your team, you can't stand the guy and hope he doesn't hit you.
You know, you think about the WNBA, Angel Reese, villain. Some would say Caitlin Clark, villain, even though it's just because she's better than you, so you hate her. But you know, even thinking about some of those women, I mean, heck
Right.
yeah, I'll allow Caitlin to coach me up any day of the week.
Oh, no doubt.
But I
Oh.
wouldn't want Angel Reese just because I don't like her. But Caitlin Clark, I can get down with.
Your villain's my hero.
Right. I mean, exactly. It's all
Right.
up to in the eye of the beholder.
Well, that's pretty good. A lot of different villains out there that could be people that you would want to coach or you would not want to coach against. Well, I mean, one that was that type, Bobby Knight. I mean, Bobby Knight didn't hold anything back. He coached you up, coached you hard, and people say that people that played for him, you know, I'd heard from different people, Andre Patterson was one of them, and different people that played for him, and he would do anything for you. But then if he's going to rip your tail, you better be ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, like Kim
Needless to-
Mulkey, she's
Needless
a
to
wild one.
say, Bobby Knight could not coach some of the kids that are around today because they could not handle it.
Oh, no way. They're too soft.
No way.
Yeah, no way.
All right, well, there you go. Misty's Bag brought to you by Mulligan's. Don't forget, March 28th, opportunity for you to help out an amazing family and have fun while doing it. We got a champion to crown. MGD. Picked them right. Got them right. And everything in between. We'll be back right after this.
What's up? Let's take a quick pic with them with the belt.
I had to move because I didn't realize since I logged in to answer your questions.
That you were on air?
On air, and I was like,
All right, here. So I'm going to just read this to you. I'm bring you here. There's our buck for it. But the more important thing
The crown. What is happening?
my return to
you don't have to. You can two-time champion.
Okay.
I mean, Barrett had to return it after a year-long wait. There you go.
He's like the champion.
Yes.
Okay.
You want somebody that's a winner? Start here.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, we gotta. Okay, there, yeah, put it over. We're gonna get close. It's on a 5-second timer, so just kind of get where you think you're gonna
I'm
be.
gonna stay here. There's
Yeah, so we have to see it. I'll kind of turn the thing.
At Lawrence Auto Abilene, Black Friday sales event starts now.
Yeah, you're cut off a little bit.
Your coffee, whether you're doing it.
Are you gummy? It's good. It's really good here. Okay. Okay.
Did you come off the cover?
Yes, I got choked up when he talked about Dennis Rodman's arm. I was like,
How do you get all the girlfriends? In the world? I was like, oh man.
and then I looked at you and I was like,
Dennis
oh, are these our yellow
could take
hammers?
you out.
Yes.
Are these our yellow hammers? Yes. Yes, get them in. Let's do a quick pick.
I'll be completely honest, I had no idea this game was started.
I'll
give it a go.
Hi, come in. How are you all?
I went in the back door.
So I am actually, unfortunately, about to leave, but I'm
I
gonna
know,
take
when
pictures
you walk in,
before
I
we
was kind of
leave,
like-
so we're gonna do this
Are you
real
right?
quick.
Oh,
Yeah, this is exciting. Okay.
I'm Ryan. This is, I know this is
Alan.
Alan.
Avery.
Avery. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Coach, how are you? All right. How are you? Get right over here.
Are you gonna get over here, get in? Actually, no. Will you take this?
Sure.
Sorry, I just had a thought, I'm like, this will be better, since we already done this.
What?
All right, come up here and get your picture taken.
No, you're. No, well, Misty, what are you doing?
I was taking the timer off.
Okay.
Okay, here you go.
So we'll get here.
Yes. Everybody get here, and because he'll take the picture from here, so. Everybody
Coach, you can get
in.
on the edge. I'll get behind. There we go.
Okay. We're all gonna get
This
together.
is the first time I've ever been in the photo. That's right.
Perfect, okay. That way I can get them posted. Okay. I know it's gonna be great. I'm sad I'm missing the interview at work. I have a meeting after this.
All right, so we're about to come back and do an interview with Josh, myself, and MGD. And then we'll come back and we'll do all of that. Y'all school today or no? All right, there you go. You're welcome. Welcome, you're welcome.
Nice sitting over there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we were missed you. I don't think I've got time. Oh. Yeah, I'm not got time. What lunch is that left to do? Let's try.
I usually try to dress a little bit more down on Fridays, but they've got the West Texas Farm and Ranch, Farm Family.
Yes, the lunch today.
Yeah,
I'll be there today presenting.
so I'll be
I may be.
I'll be
there.
presenting a flag on behalf of the
Oh,
boss
yeah.
man.
Offering competitive products and rates, your experienced team will walk you through every step of the mortgage process. Visit ColemanBank.com and let CCSB get you home.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I mean, obviously I chose Indiana, but I can't remember who I picked in some of the other rounds. You have those if you, I don't know, but I can't remember.
No,
I can't remember.
Oh,
I mean, I
know where
go, sure, but
I know where I did not finish.
who'd y'all have? Or were we talking?
I had Indiana winning
Okay.
it, but I had too much at the bottom
Oh,
that got
sure.
hosed.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Hodgepodge Sports Life and everything in between. We are kicking off hour number 2, brought to you by Coleman County State Bank. If you need any kind of mortgage needs, Coleman County State Bank, reach out to them. Tammy and her team will get you taken care of. But along with kicking off that hour, when you hear that song, you know it's time for our Big Country Electric. It's not our Big Country Electric My Town segment. That's a little bit later on. Double version of it, though. Local guy takes that area where Big Country Electric serves. I'm sure you don't mind that being heard twice. Country Electric being said twice. At the bottom of the hour, we'll have our Big Country Electric My Town segment with the Rotan Lady Yellowhammers and their head basketball coach, Coach Garrett Watson, getting ready for a big area game tonight against Hermley. But Josh, you always set up our pick'ems. As I mentioned earlier, the March Madness will be around here before you know it. We'll have a bracket for that you can fill out. Again, part of our headline report, JT Toppin, Texas Tech, stud out, season-ending ACL. Man, can you think of an injury that's happened that has been that devastating for a team? Like,
well, I mean, it happens. You know, I mean, obviously, we just saw the Broncos lose their quarterback after winning the AFC Championship game. You know, like it's injuries are part of it, and sometimes it's. I mean, it's definitely rough to have a such an impact player. You know, a guy that basically is a double every day.
yeah,
Going down. My son Luke really liked watching him play, and he was always trying to mimic his little moves as far as the pivot, twist, and shoot and stuff. And he was telling me about all those things, and then he's hurt. And it is sad because you want, obviously, if you're a fan of Texas Tech, you want your best team out there. But just in general, as a basketball fan with March Madness coming, you don't want teams to not be at their best, you know, when those games really start to matter.
well, and I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're at Rotan, if you're at Abilene High, Abilene Cooper, or Texas Tech, or in the NFL. It's one thing to have somebody get hurt, but if the wrong person gets hurt, I mean, we saw that with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes goes down anyway. But if the wrong person gets hurt, it's a really big deal, and that's what we see, unfortunately, with not J.K. Dobbins. That's just I'm looking at the football deal and saw Ohio State. J.T. Toppin out for them. But the reason we're here is mentioning that, again, we'll have brackets for you to pick and have a chance to maybe this guy can win that too. But joining us in studio are college football pick'em bracket winner, and as those that are on Facebook Live can see, he is sporting the championship belt. MG Dean, a long time. What's cool is you've been listening. You've been we've been trying to figure out what we need to call our people that have been loyal listeners. You've kind of been with us for a while.
Yeah. As soon as I found out about Hodgepodge, I've been a lifelong sports fan of sports.
And so MGD is here, retired veteran, served our country for how many years?
25.
So 25. What was your role in? Was Air Force, right?
Yeah, I was in the Air Force. Half of it I was a military police officer, and the other half of it I was a load master on C-130, which is what brought me to DICE.
Okay, so how long were you at Dias?
2 different stints for about a total of 8 years.
And so I know everybody brags on it, but how much of a big experience is it that hopefully that the Abilene people, it's the trophy now, named after the Abilene Trophy, that Abilene does when it comes to taking care of the folks at Dias for days?
Well, I'll tell you, and I tell the story. I mean, my wife and family live literally all over the world, Europe, Asia, and the first time I got stationed here in Dias, 2010, and they would come back to Abilene so we could retire here because we love the community. And to your point, the Abilene Trophy is named for a reason because, a quick story, all the other bases didn't put in for it because Abilene won it like 7, 8 years in a row. And so the leadership went to him and said, you can't run it anymore because no one else is even competing. So we'll rename it and send the Military Affairs Committee out to different communities. And yeah, it's awesome.
And so explain a little bit what the Abilene Trophy really is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Abilene Trophy is recognition from the commands that are over the base. So that one specifically was Air Mobility Command, which is part of this the C-130 mission at Dias. And so the Military Affairs Committee over the years had put in for that trophy. Basically what it signifies is the community that best supports the military members at that base. And so, like I said, they had won it so many years in a row. The Air Mobility Command leadership, which has been proposed a trade, if you will, to say, hey, you guys are no longer eligible to compete, but we want to rename it the Abilene Trophy and then send 2 representatives from the MAC every year. And then, so, earlier this year it was great because Paul Beal and Gary Nichols went out and represented the MAC and presented the trophy to, I can't remember what county or what community it was, but it's just a really cool deal. And it's going to be that name forever.
Right. Well, it is just cool because, and I'm fortunate to be a part of the Military Affairs Committee and the Busted Punter and everything that the Military Affairs and the Chamber tries to do to continue to make it a great place to be for the men and women and the families that serve here, because we want it to be a great place to live. We want them to have safe and education and childcare and all the things. And that's why the military affairs and the support that we can do, and those of you, the military discounts and all the things in the community, it's such a huge impact to make this the best place to live for people that are protecting our freedom.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of veterans that retire here. I'm here, Cameron Wiley's here, countless other people are here. And again, we chose to retire here. A lot of us could move back home. Like, I'm from Kansas City, but I don't want to go. I wanted to stay here because I fell in love here, fell in love with the schools, the community. Wife got a job that she loved, and so I said, this is what I want to call home.
Well, and so one of the things, so big sports fan, you're from Kansas City, so I'm assuming Chiefs fan?
Huge Chiefs fan, yes.
How hard was it being a Chiefs fan during the pre-Mahomes years?
It was rough. And so my dad and I often talk about this. It was like, for 2 or 3 years, the Chiefs would have a really good offense, like with Holmes or Jamal Charles or whatnot. The quarterback, usually we'll call them game managers. Well, Joe Montana, but he was clearly at the tail end of his career. And then other years we had really good defenses. And so we could never get those two to match up. And so, sometimes we make the playoffs, but I would say the years that I suffered through being a Chiefs fan made the more recent years all that sweeter.
Oh, no doubt. And of course, I remember Joe Montana, and I remember it was the second Tecmo Bowl, I believe. Josh, tell me if I'm wrong. But some of the best running backs were Barry Word and Christian Okoye.
Oh, yeah.
The Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
and Josh, if you remember, his shoulder pads looked like they could have been
Like
in a
Bill
movie.
Linebacker. Like Bill
Yes,
Linebacker
Yes,
pads, yeah.
yes, the giant shoulder pads. And
Yeah.
there's what are the iconic plays, that you used to always see back when they would do the, things like that, was Okoye and Steve Adler
Yeah,
hitting in the
yeah.
middle, like I can
being punished.
Yes, right. Which is a bygone era of the.
Oh, that would be a flag.
There's whole videos, because I've talked about this on the show before. This is a wormhole, obviously, but used to, when you got your subscription to Sports Illustrated, there would be these bonus gifts or whatever.
The
that you
hits or
got.
something.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you get these videos, and they'd be like maybe sports bloopers or whatever. There was one that I probably watched until the VCR ate it, and it was the NFL brings the thunder, and it was
Yeah.
just. I've thought about that video, and it would be 99% penalty flags now. So, but back
Penalty
selling point-
flags, ejections, fines.
Yeah, it was
As
a selling
opposed to-
point in
yes.
the 90s. Now it's
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Well, and then ESPN had that series on Monday Night Football. I think it was called Jacked Up, right? Where they were out and
Right.
they kind of had to get rid of that. So.
Yeah, it is no longer there. So, all right, but you picked Indiana. Did you feel good about Indiana going from the get-go? Again, MG Dean is in because he was our bracket winner for college football playoff, and hadn't had a chance to bring him in. And so, did you feel good about Indiana? How good do you think Fernando Mendoza will be as a probably looks like a Las Vegas Raider?
Yeah, so I had Indiana from the get-go, especially like the last 2 or 3 games. I don't know that I can recall a team other than maybe the Joe Burrow-led LSU team that was that consistent in offense. Like the last 2 or 3 games, they were just rolling people, and they were scoring like 7 out of 10 drives for touchdowns. And I was like, this is so efficient of the team. And so when it come time to pick them, I picked them, and then I felt more and more confident. I mean, really, the only close game I had was the championship game.
Which I was still shocked. If you had told me the 3 games that they were going to play, Miami in the national championship, Oregon in the semifinal, and then Alabama, I would have probably said the Oregon game would be 27-21, not the Miami game.
Well, I definitely thought it would win a track meet just because Oregon's got they always bring such great athletes.
Right.
So, yeah.
So will you feel, how will you feel about March Madness? Will you do the same thing? Try to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, basketball is trickier, I think, just because it's a longer run. And, to your point, you never know what's going to happen. Somebody gets hurt in the middle of the tournament, and then it changes the direction. And then my favorite part about March Madness, I suspect everybody's, is the Cinderellas. Like, you get these teams that are these mid-majors or even smaller, and they get a couple hot shooters. Like, I think back to, like, Wally Zerbiak, you know, guys like that just come out of nowhere, or even Gulf Coast. What am I thinking?
Gulf State.
Coast or something like that.
Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
Now,
so,
Josh likes Cinderellas if they only wear the slipper for about 5 minutes.
No, I have a very strong opinion on the Cinderellas. I do enjoy watching an upset. I love watching the upset. But the problem in the tournament when you have upsets is it leads to less enthusiasm later. Like everyone says they love the underdog, but they don't watch the underdog on TV.
Well, and I know we only got a minute left, and then we're gonna have some talk some basketball. Until the game was over and it ended up being 27-21, nobody was real excited about them playing Miami.
No.
I mean, because they thought it was going to be a blowout because they'd blown everybody else out. They were thinking, oh, great, now we're going to have a blowout. Miami obviously gave them a game. I would play Ole Miss to see if Ole Miss could pull off the great, we don't need you, Lane Kiffin thing.
yeah, I would say, too, the other layer to that was that Miami is one of the first people that they thought shouldn't be in.
Oh, right.
And so I thought it was crazy that you.
So they were the Cinderella of that tournament.
Yeah.
The other 2 weren't Cinderellas. They were not ever going to have a chancers.
Well,
Yeah, you're exactly right. Because I was one of the first to say that they only put Miami in just so they could throw an ACC school in, even though they technically didn't have to, but they kind of had to, and all of that. So they did kind of squeak in, and then took it all the way to the.
And you couldn't have
Final
picked a
game.
weirder matchup in this early on because Indiana, like everybody's like, this is like a fake season because of basketball, and then Miami gets in last second, and so it was an odd matchup, but great game though, great game.
Oh, no doubt. Definitely was a fantastic game. And because of the ride, you got the belt, you got the cash.
And it's the first time the belt hasn't been with the Greer family in several years.
That's a true story. It was basically being rotated as a family heirloom in the Greer family between
Pops won it, and then Barrett won it. So it's this
Well-
is the third winner of the belt and the first non-Greer. So.
Yep.
Well, I'm honored, and it's not first time breaking somebody's heart. So.
There you go. Hearts are broken. MG Dean, the world heavyweight champion of Pick'em. When we come back, we're going to have our Big Country Electric My Town segment. Rotan, gold ball chasing, one under their belt, trying to get another one tonight. And they may feel a little Cinderella in themselves. We'll get Coach Watson's thoughts right after this. That's what we call it. That's what we call it.
Yeah, we go into political talk on without sharing airtime, but
Oh yeah.
how's it?
Good. It's I've always said if I don't use all something, I'll have to do so get into it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's and everything too is it's my first time at the grassroots level. It's an interesting correlation. The lower on the totem pole you get, the more luck as far as how a lot of people play.
Yeah.
Because when you're up at like my boss, you might get some top shots here and there, but you're very instant. Whereas me, I see people in the nose, I see
You're literally with the people.
Yeah.
And that's also what I was thinking about that when you're in your position, your boss decides to retire, so it's like now what do I do?
Yeah, and so, I really have a couple choices, like, gotta go out to end of December for sure. I'll wait for the primary to go over, but really won't know till June, because they'll run off.
Right.
Run off to the board.
Yeah, 'cause there's so many people running.
Yeah, there's 7 people.
Right, perfect.
And then,
Right,
then
so we'll probably go 2 and 2. So whoever wants to pick either side, we can get to move that belt.
Right.
2 and 2, we'll share mine, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. That's, I thought about that. In that game, it's 2 years and then see.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
It's quick, like, that's, the joke is you're constantly, you're not letting.
Right, yeah.
But the second, like 6 months away from starting.
Yeah, we want to try to share seats. Josh, I'm gonna let y'all arrange them, and I'm gonna tell where they need to go camera-wise.
All right, so I appreciate it again. It might be easier to stand up so you can get, I don't know.
Now, for you, you may.
If you can get chairs close enough to share. Hey, Ryan. But.
I appreciate it. I'll see you at the
Yeah,
lunch.
I'll just.
Good luck tonight, your game.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be up at the expo center.
Okay, perfect. Maybe you'll take us up on stage.
Visit colemanbank.com to make your next move.
So do y'all have any seniors?
We have one senior. It's Sophie.
Okay.
So she's senior. I think she's the only one. Y'all haven't won a football. Yeah. I don't know when was a freshman. And I think she won one when she was a freshman. So.
Cool. All right. So what we'll do, we're about to come back. I'll bring us in, and then I'm just going to say we have Rotan Lady Yellowhammers. Y'all call some place start lady. Y'all Lady Yellowhammers. Okay. Anyway, it's a whole other joke. And then I'll say we've got Talon, Brayley, and Avery. Are you Frankie's kid?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I coached your dad.
Yeah.
Ask about the gum story, or I can tell you the gum story here in a minute. He had gum and needed to get rid of it, and was just give it to me, and he spit in my hand.
You told me that.
So anyway, end of the season, and we'll ask y'all how it's going, and we will talk about it. I mean, let's face it, you may feel like you're the underdog tonight and all that, and how you're handling that, and what will also the thrill of winning the gold ball. Did y'all play Tuesday?
Yes.
Against Monday, which is always confusing.
Yes.
It was, I had to explain that a lot.
That's funny. That's funny when you're the Hodgepack and you're working the board. There's not what's in that bag. What's in that bag is brought to you by Mulligan's, which we did earlier. This is our Big Country Electric My Town segment, brought to you by Big Country Electric Cooperative, taking care of their members. And Roby Snyder Detroit is the big, great city of Roby, is the head coach for the Rotan Lady Yellowhammers, and 3 of the Lady Yellowhammers as well. Coach Garrett Watson, we've got Ian Talon. How are we doing this morning?
We're doing great. I think the girls are a little nervous, but they're excited as well.
Hey, that's okay. Just talk loud, talk big, and because there's a lot of people that aren't as fortunate as y'all to be still playing basketball. There's a lot of people that would love to be playing. A lot of seniors that season ended either on Tuesday or didn't even get a chance to order the playoff T-shirt. So be excited about all those things. And so, Coach, we'll start with you. That way, give a little more time for the girls to get less nervous. So talk a little bit about your coaching journey. You're married to some legendary Highland Lady Hornet, but talk about your coaching journey and how long you've been at Rotan.
So this is my 2nd year at Rotan coaching the girls, but about 6 years ago, I was there as a coach and teacher in the school system. I'm married to Sarah, used to be Sandusky, who, like you said, was a part of some pretty legendary Highland teams for Coach Balcom over there, who's back at the helm over there. And we actually played them last Friday in a warm-up game, and I think that was a pretty confidence boost going in, even though we dropped that game. You know, they competed really well with a pretty good Gordon team on Monday night.
Right.
I think that gave our girls quite a bit of confidence going into our Tuesday night game against Monday.
Right.
That has confused a lot of people.
Right, no doubt. Especially if you were playing, it would have been easier just to play them on Monday to help that confusion. So how long have you coached girls?
So I started in Meadow as a girls. So my 2nd year coaching, I was blessed with the opportunity to start coaching girls. Then after that year, I came to Rotan as a boy, high school friends and college roommate, and we joined up together. And I think we ended up coaching for 5 years together before we kind of split ways. And he went back home to Jayden, and I went to Highland to, you know, try to move Sarah back home and have fun. And then I was blessed with the opportunity to join this group of girls that I'd actually coached in PE when I was the boys coach. And, you know, the opportunity presented itself to go back to Rotan, and jumped on it. And here we are with a gold ball on it.
And so let me ask you this. What would you say, and I'm going to get you turn that, just the whole thing that way. There you go. That way people can see your, actually, no, it's just, you're fine. I'm figuring out the camera in a minute. You're good. What would you say is the big difference in coaching boys and girls?
Oh, man. With boys as a male coach, I can really yell at some boys, and not that yelling always gets the job done. I've had to really, and be fire here, but I've toned back a lot on my yelling, and, you know, not getting in your face, but, you know, I understand that they're 16-year-old girls and they make mistakes, and, you know, a 30-year-old man yelling at them is probably not going to make things better. And so it's been a lot of focus on, you know, coaching them up instead of telling them what they've done wrong. And so.
Well, I've always heard a lot of times, buddies, that, and so I don't know if y'all know this, I know you do because I coached your dad, but I coached for 10 years and I was the head basketball coach at Roby for 7. And in that time, I've had a lot of buddies that went from coaching boys to coaching girls and said, maybe a little more discipline, listen to you more, and all those things. And so now I know you've been nervous. So we're going to start with Avery, because Avery sat down and probably didn't mind, ready to start talking. So Avery, tell us, folks. Obviously, you're Avery. Tell me, you know, I'm Avery and all that. Can you play? And you've probably been in Rotan a lot.
Yes, sir. I'm Avery Gonzalez, and I'm a junior at Rotan, and I'm the point guard for our team.
So what has it been like getting, nothing against like playing for Coach Watson, but What has this experience been like as you did y'all make the playoffs last year?
Yes.
Okay, so
we made the playoffs, and actually we lost to Monday in the same round.
okay,
And
so experience last year's playoff run with a loss. What has this playoff run been? Because you're in kind of a tough district. I mean, give or take, it's a competitive district. You got a team like Jayton's in there, correct?
Yes.
Which everybody knows how good Jayton is at, I think, everything they touch. But talk about what this run's been like and getting that gold ball, because there's I've said one of the biggest things about coaching that I miss is winning games you're not supposed to. And when you do win that game and you down nets and you raise the tree and all those things, what has this season been like and being able to still be playing?
Yeah, so this season's been super fun, and then being able to beat Monday this year when we didn't beat them last year has been good. And then we also played Monday our first round in volleyball playoffs. So getting to beat them first round in volleyball and then beating them in basketball too has been great.
Right, so that's a big accomplishment, because I think in one of the deals that's a struggle is, I know football was kind of tough, and you mentioned making it in volleyball was big, but when you do those things and you know this, where did you grow up, did you say?
I grew up in Jayton.
All right, so you grew up in Jayton, so you know what it's like. I mean, there's success that's been there a while.
Well, when I was at Jayton, we were not.
Okay, so
we
when
were
you're
not as
so when did you graduate from Jayton?
So, 2011 was when I graduated. They're kind of in charge on the boys' side. They both got there for my senior year. They started their current job as my senior year.
Okay.
So like it was kind of the end of, not that we were never great. We weren't what they are now.
Right.
I mean,
So, but I bring that back because when you start having success, especially in towns that haven't had a whole lot, it's a game changer, and you bring so much. So, Talon, what's it been like for you as far as experience in the playoff run for as a junior, knowing, hey, I got a year left and let's keep getting better. Obviously, a lot more season left tonight. For you,
it's been I definitely that we're all very glad that we won our last game, because if not, we would have been done and we got to start track practice, which is everyone knows how that goes. But
everybody's a fan of track.
Yeah, we're all just excited to keep going, and we hope we win tonight, have an upset, and we win a gold ball.
All right, and so, all right, Brayley, talking about track, and we'll bring you in. Again, excited. Brayley goes to church, and so happy to have Brayley here. How much do you think has helped the success? Because one thing that y'all have is success in, even though nobody likes to do it. I mean, Brayley may like it, but there's been some success at track of going to the state track meet. How do you think track has helped you compete on the basketball court? Would you? But that experience, I mean, won. I mean, your experience of winning, you don't get to go to the state track meet just with participation. You've got to win area, win regional, and do those things. How has that helped you on the basketball court?
I feel like it helps me like my confidence a lot. I feel like it helps my confidence a lot, and then like it for sure brings like a lot of the girls like together. But yeah.
What position do you play? Okay, so post play, talent. I didn't ask you. What do you play? Are you a guard, inside out, both?
I'm a guard for the most part.
Okay, but I'll ask you, Coach, and take a little bit off of the girls. How much do you think that does help? Because I'm a big believer when you go compete and win, whether it's in track or in golf or whatever, and you bring that to the other sports, it does help build that confidence.
Oh, 100%. I mean, last year, we knew going in we were going to be a fast team, and into track. I mean, I know we're here about basketball, but just talking, we knew we were fast, but it was kind of a goal to get to the state track meet. Like that was the goal. I mean, that was my goal. I think that was most of y'all's goals, was to get there, because I think when they were freshmen, they were close, and so then we got there, and I think we made it as a wild card as a relay. If I'm honest, we get to meet in third place from our region, and we get on the medal standing at second. So, like we stepped our game up in that 2 weeks, and girls worked so hard. I think Brayley missed the first half of the track season with the injury, and came back more than she was before. And I mean, the girls just worked their tails off. But then, you know, you transition that into volleyball and basketball. And I mean, every coach that we talk before games and every coach, y'all are so fast. I don't know what we're going to do. Like we have to press just so you can't get ahead of steam, because, you know, if you get ahead of steam, then we can't stop you. And so it goes hand in hand.
Oh, I completely agree, and I'm a big believer that track makes you a better athlete for everything. For the
100%.
Now, Avery and Talon mentioned it about being an upset tonight. You know you're playing a good team in Hermley, but Coach Watson mentioned played a week, and who again competes Gordon, who may be one of the best teams obviously in the state. What kind of mindset do you go into that, knowing you're playing a team like Hermley with another chance, as Talon mentioned, to go get another gold ball?
Yeah, so we played Hermley our first game in the season with little to no practice, and so going into tonight, just knowing that it is possible, like they're human too, they make mistakes as well, and so we just having confidence in who we are and our abilities of what we can do.
Well, and I think another deal, and Braley's mentioned talking that, you know, you also been battling an ankle injury throughout basketball, and now back and being healthy. How much does that help, and how healthy are you right now going into tonight?
I would say pretty healthy, actually. It doesn't really bother me.
Your thoughts on going in tonight, playing at WTC, right? The Coliseum. So the big gym, big all the things, which again, and go watch Hoosiers. It's the same thing. Have y'all practiced with the different behind the goals? Have y'all done any of that? Okay.
No, we haven't practiced anything like that. We've tried to just, you know, kind of what Avery touched on, you know, focus on us a little bit. And, you know, we're here to go compete and try to win, but like, you know, there's no pressure on the Rotan Lady Hammers tonight. It's go play. This is the bonus game that some seniors didn't get. You know, we won. I wouldn't say, you know, against Monday, I don't think either one of us were favored. I think, you know, there's 2 radio stations that broadcast our game. I think it was just a good matchup, you know, and we were fortunate enough to come out on top. And then, you know, tonight, you know, like you said, we're the underdog, but, you know, all the pressures tonight that they have to go beat us, in it and hang around. Maybe we knock these in the fourth quarter again and win a ball game.
Right. Well, and I'm a big believer. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody in the state of Texas thought Amarillo High would lose round 1 to Wichita Falls Legacy. Mm-hmm. And I think the best thing that any team has is knowing that with everything, you have 0 to lose. And so that's the mindset. And I'm going to tell you the worst story you need to hear, and hopefully he's not using this tonight. It's not a David and Goliath. It's we belong. And if you go out like, hey, we belong in this stage, we advance just like anybody else and have an opportunity. Because I can assure you, there's some Amarillo High girls that probably had reservations booked for the next week. Mm-hmm. And they lose to Wichita Falls Legacy this past week. And so it very much can happen going in tonight.
I had to play. I really hope that we win, and I just hope we all play good and we're all safe and no one gets hurt, and it's a good game. I'm very excited, and I hope everybody else is too.
There you go, Braley. What's your thoughts going in tonight? We'll end with you and Avery, then we'll finish with Coach.
I would say I'm excited and nervous, and I just hope that I play really good, and so does everybody else.
There you go, Avery. Your thoughts going in?
Yeah, I just want to go in there and have a good game, and the rest of our team and all of us play to the best of our abilities and have confidence.
There you go. That's the main thing is if you go in fearing the opponent, you're hosed. But if you go in and respect them with confidence, it's a whole different ballgame. Coach, your thoughts, and we'll head into break.
Yeah, you know, we were talking kind of, you know, they're obviously nervous. I'm nervous. I'm not going to lie and say I'm not. Nervous about the interview, nervous about the game. Right. I mean, it's fun times, exciting times. I had to update our record. You know, we're 11-14, and they're 30-2. But you know, 9 of our losses have been to top 20 teams. So, you know, the girls have been tested pretty hard. I remember, you know, at the awards banquet we had last year, I told them, you know, like, we're playing Hermley right out the gate, like, and there's a good chance we play them in the playoffs. And so, you know, we've seen what they can do. You know, it's kind of a measuring stick now. You know, we played them at the beginning of the year. Now we're playing them, you know, in the playoffs. Let's see what we can do.
It's exactly right. And you got a chance to go. And I'll end it with this. Talk about the community and the support that y'all gotten.
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. The parents, the teachers, the faculty, the other students, like, you know, we have 8 girls that suit up, you know, and that's our high school basketball team. So, you know, there's times where, you know, we probably get worse but up and play basketball against the girls just so we can get a look. So, I mean, I don't think I'm, you know, replicating what Hermley can do, but, you know, they're probably way more athletic and good at basketball than I am. But, you know, we get to go out and have fun in practice and do things like that. But then, you know, you look at all the kids and people that showed up on Tuesday to support us against Monday. You know, we're hoping they'll make the shorter trip over to the Coliseum, and maybe we can, I don't know, try to pack those stands and do something amazing tonight.
There you go. 7 o'clock, right? Tip off at WTC. Great job. You did good. I know you were nervous, but you did a great job. Appreciate y'all making the journey over today for this.
Thank y'all for having us.
All right, that's row 10. Lady Hammers playing tonight against Hermley, 7 o'clock, trying to find another gold ball to bring back to Fisher County. When we come back, Josh and I will have more Hodgepacks, Sports Life, and everything in between. Good job. Good job, ladies. You did good.
Thank you so much for having me.
Y'all did good. It was good. So here's the deal with the questions. I can't make them too difficult because I got to remember. But good job. Good job. Appreciate you voting. I know you didn't need to play. Good to see you. Coach, appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you, Bradley. Glad that the egg looks good.
Best of luck to y'all tonight.
Thank you.
Play hard.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we had the same game when I was coaching. I know you don't care if it's after your dad graduated.
I know you don't care.
But we played Kroll, and they had zero confidence in us. In fact, we played at 7:30, and they showed up like a little bit before 7. And they're all this area. And we ended up, it's my favorite. What would Joe do? All right, so for Joe, his is on the table. And it's my favorite. I started off, and I used to it was hot. I kept my jacket on, I kept my composure. You could ask Joe, and never said that. But Jeff had best if we played that rule. Coach on us. $50 means they see it for the first quarter. But we ended up beating Kroll, and nobody got back. I left on the story. We were at Abilene Wiley, and my buddy came to watch us play. And we're like right here talking to each other. Red's like in the team, dunking it, doing all these things. And Brett goes, man, really good looking team. And they didn't take a chance. We ended up beating them. So,
Anything
some reason they play.
When I was in Valley, every year we were matching up in the first round.
It's they're the standard.
That's what it is. All of them were bad. You know, we were fortunate enough to. I think we ended up losing the next one, but I mean, had the ball up, gave them game, gave them a scare, then they go state tournament. So you're 2 points away from, you know, if you win the next game, you're 2 points away from.
But it's big. So take care of the ball, play defense, win the board, we vote. So, all right. Well, I mean, I don't yell anymore my speeches, you know. Josh had speeches.
No.
Win one for the gift card.
No speeches.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. See you. Thank you, Riley. See you Sunday, baby. Sounds good. See y'all. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
We can talk some Ranger stuff.
Yeah, we can, man.
I'm going to go to ESPN, look at some headlines, read over some of those headlines. Appreciate everybody listening from Rotan. Thank you all.
Hey, big country, thank you for buying a home, but don't know where to start. Do you have a mortgage qualification process?
Have you seen this stuff on the tanking in the NBA that they're wanting to find teams? They've already fined teams.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Mortgage process. Visit ColemanBank.com and let CCSB get you home.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Hodgeback Sports Life, and everything in between is Josh and Hodge. Ready to go on the weekend, Misty and Hodge. And Josh, first hour, if you missed it, great stuff. Villains, Robert Duvall, medals not mattering, silver medal, all the things. Go back and download the podcast. You can catch that. Man, last week it was you.
You need a drink of water?
Well, last week was you,
I know.
and this week was me, and MG Dean win the title, and you mentioned how it's the first time that the Greers aren't taking the belt home.
I know. It's rough end of the season there at Pick'em. It's a shame. But, we move on to play again next season. I do have a random confession that I need to make. I made a mistake this week. First of all, it's a multi-part because I don't see color real well. That's just a little side note. So I generally have to get my wife to help me make sure I pick out my clothes. I have standbys that I know that I can wear this with that, and that's fine, but I want to make sure that this morning I pulled over because it's chilly outside. The first day of spring training games, so we're kicking off the Texas Rangers for 2026. But I wanted to make sure that it was all right. We had a blue shirt on. Was it too much of the same color? All of those things. So I asked my wife if it looked okay, and she said, "Yeah, it looks fine, but don't forget to zip your pants." I just went to the restroom a second ago and realized that I did forget to zip my pants, even though I was told to zip my pants.
Well, you got.
And then, I guess no one noticed, or y'all just didn't care to let.
Well, for the record, I'm on this side of the deal, and I don't know what Misty's situation was. But the good thing is, you're ready to go out into
My
the world.
pants were probably unzipped in the picture that we took earlier. So
Well,
before you put that on Facebook, you might want to see it noticeable.
Well, a couple things. One, you're in the back.
Okay.
Two, you're tall, and we were in the middle. And
Yeah. So anyway,
you should be good.
That situation has now been rectified.
There you go. That's always important. So be sure the lesson there is not so much make sure that your fly's up. It's listen to your wife.
Yes, that's
that
very
is
true.
lesson number one. But again, a couple of headlines that we mentioned earlier. Again, thank you so much to MG Dean coming in. Again, thank you for his service. And I wonder if he'll wear that belt during the Farm and Ranch show today.
I asked him to.
He should. That'd be perfect advertising for us as well. And of course, we just had the Rotan Lady Yellowhammers as they ready to take on firmly tonight. A couple of things. Ned loses last night. Tough one to Comanche.
Yeah, very close.
By 2. And of course, games will be going on. Try to find those. Be on the lookout. That's one thing I miss, and I don't know really how you can find it as well. But guys, if you like high school basketball, we're in the perfect spot of the state. There'll be some games, so be on the lookout. If you want to watch games over the next couple of weeks, be on the lookout for those. Couple of headlines again. The Canada women's hockey team fall to USA as USA wins 2-1 in overtime. Big goal by Megan Keller. And then, of course, we talked about how Tony Clark is out at the MLB representing the Player Association. Bruce Meyer back in. JT Toppin out with a torn ACL for Texas Tech. A couple things I want to mention. Potosi Live has some events coming up tomorrow night. Colby tickets if you can, if they're still available, potosilive.com. Giovanni and the Hired Guns on March 6th, and a new Wade Bowen coming up on March 28th, and as well the Toadies coming in on April 30th. A little different genre heading out to Potosi Live this year. So go to PotosiLive.com and get those tickets. Couple of things that have been posted, and I told you, Josh, that we were going to look that are odd things. Have you seen that the Bears have worked out a tract of land that actually is in Indiana of possibly getting a stadium built there? Did you see that?
I knew that they were looking to build a new stadium. I didn't see that it was going to be in a different state.
Yeah, Indiana passes bill to lure the Bears from Chicago. That would be weird. It's different. It's one thing to have the Dallas Cowboys in Arlington. They were in Irving. They've never really been in Dallas. But the Dallas Stars are, the Dallas Mavericks are, but the Dallas Cowboys are not. Interesting there on that. And of course, the other NBA is less on the field or on the court as about trying to finding teams for tanking and players not playing. And it's now getting into the college world. Peterson for Kansas, he plays like kind of when he wants to. It's like, and I don't know if he's saving himself for the NBA, saving himself for March Madness to win a title, or both, or what. But it's been a very awkward situation for Bill Self. And how do you coach? Are you going to be here today, or are you not going to be here today?
What's the understanding? I mean, that is interesting. But the thing,
he's already learning load management in college.
I know the NBA load management thing, which is also something that the NBA tries to discourage and it does cause a problem. You see this problem is exasperated that in the NBA, half the teams make playoffs.
Right.
So the other half the teams are trying to lose as many games as possible.
So hopefully to get their Cooper flag.
Right. So that leads to some situations. But as a fan, if you're like, I want to spend my hard-earned money, you take your family to a professional basketball game, you're spending, several hundreds at least to
watch. You haven't even bought a meal. You haven't done anything else.
And so all of this is going on, and you show up, and when you show up, you learn that the superstars that you love and that your kids are wearing the jersey and all of those things have just decided that today I'm taking the day off. That's rough.
I'm glad you bring that up. And the Rangers again start today. It will being able to watch games will be here before you know it, and all the things. Is how do you compare, because it happens in baseball. Now, granted, there's 162 games, which is a little different. And 82 games is a lot, I get.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, you'll see in baseball on a Sunday afternoon, somebody take a day off. But a lot of times they end finding a way either to pinch hit maybe at the end. They don't take a complete day off. But the difference in those is they at least suit up. In the NBA, they're in street clothes.
Right, they're not coming in.
So what's your take on that? Because I agree. I listen to a lot of different shows, and what I listen to is Unsportsmanlike on ESPN, and they're talking about this like we're all trying to figure out what to talk about after football. And they've got a little bit more of an NBA audience because they have it on ESPN.
Right.
But they're talking about, well, what is the answer of tanking? What is the answer? Because and a pretty large amount of money, because everybody's trying to get because this year's draft with the guy from BYU, Peterson from Kansas, they've got a pretty good draft this year of trying to make your team better. What do you do? Well, there's nothing worse than buying a ticket to go see LeBron or Luka or you name the star, and they're not there. I think there ought to be a way to say, hey, you bought this ticket, he's not playing, we're going to kick back half your ticket to buy a future ticket or something. But what's your thoughts? Because we got about 3 minutes. How comparable is it to baseball?
Well, I don't know that it's real comparable, because baseball it is a different kind of grind. But even in baseball, you're seeing way more days off. Way few people play every game. Like it used to. And if you looked at the season leaderboards at the end of the year, and you searched it by games played to see a grip of people be at 162.
Right.
And now that number is maybe 0, maybe 1 or 2. And so that, and I think part of that is understanding that to perform at a very high level, you need to take some time off. So I get that. On the other hand, you do pay big money and you want to watch your favorite player play. Now in baseball, one of the things that you can always kind of keep in mind is you're not going to see like if you are a fan of a catcher, say, you're not going to see the starting catcher start a day game after a night game. Like it's too close to, so that's what they're going to have a timeout. Even Pudge Rodriguez, who was an Iron Man as far as catchers go, took days off in those situations. And the other thing to be aware, if you're buying tickets, if you are buying day game tickets on a getaway day, a Sunday that they're getting out of town for a Monday game, you're more likely to see some scrubs. And that's just the way that it is. You give them a little extra rest. They're about to go on a road trip, and so I get that, but it is hard. And in basketball, the thing that I like you said, the thing that I don't like about it in the basketball even more is, yes, if Corey Seager is taking a day off and he has some injury concerns yearly, we want to make sure he's healthy and productive for the whole season, so he needs some days off. A lot of times he'll just DH, so you still get to see him hit, which is what he's best at anyway. Or he might take a day off, but he is in the dugout. He is, available to pinch hit, and you might see that later. And as you mentioned, in the NBA, when they take those days off, it's like they are. It doesn't matter if it's the fourth quarter and we're in a close game,
and I don't know,
right now.
And maybe if they, and again in basketball, if you have them in the book, maybe say, hey, I know you didn't play in the first half. I need you to go to the locker, put your uniform on, and play in the second half. I wrote your name in the book, so you're good to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's odd, and again, I know that there's so much that is into trying to figure that out, and I don't envy. And the commissioner, Adam Silver, will have to figure that out. And don't be surprised if you eventually see the NBA draft, the NBA lottery, all that totally different on the next CBA agreement. Hopefully, on the next CBA agreement that Bruce Meyer has doesn't involve a stoppage in baseball. Hey, we appreciate you listening again. Congratulations to MG Dean on being the heavyweight champion of college football pick'em for the Hodge. Lady Yellowhammer try to take down and upset the Hermley Cardinals. Again, appreciate them coming in, Coach Watson and the girls. Hey, don't forget, download, subscribe, rate, review. We'll see you next week. Baseball will be even closer to March Madness, closer to the Masters, closer to everything. We'll see you next week with more Hodgepacks, Sports Life, and everything in between.
All right, I gotta run. See you soon.
Probably see you.
I don't know what I'm going to